There's a physical issue you want to work on?
Yes.
Where is it? What is it? Tell me about it.
It's my right shoulder.
Mm-hmm. How long have you had it?
I have had issues with it years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then just before I came across to Aussie for this class, it started up again. I did something to it and it was giving me a bit of jip.
Okay.
And I was a bit freaked because I didn't want it to interfere with my tapping or my learning.
Yeah,
Because I can't
lift your arm very high.
That's weird.
We just did 2 seconds.
It's a miracle.
Are you sure that's the right arm?
It was definitely, I can promise you it was my right arm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
because I've been tapping with this one,
yeah.
not to, yeah, it's a bit ginger still.
It's still a bit ginger, okay. All right. And you said you had trouble with it years ago as well?
Mm-hmm.
When years ago? Let's go back to the years ago one first. How old were you?
Oh, when I say years ago, I probably mean it in the last 6 or 7 years.
Mm-hmm. And has it come and go? Has it been there? Like, was there one particular time you remember it?
I remember going to the chiropractor and having it sort of treated. And he said it was a rotator cuff tear.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So try and remember what was going on in your life, and while you're tuning into that shoulder and the pain that you've just been having beforehand with that limited movement. Shoulders, even though we've got the book here, can often be, this weight on my shoulder, this burden, this responsibility. Anything triggering there?
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Does anyone also know about left side and right side, masculine and feminine? Yeah. Which side is the right side?
Don't remember.
Masculine?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said it's been giving me a bit of jib.
Jip.
Jip.
Yep.
Jip. Jip. I can't say it with a New Zealand accent.
You're going to steal it.
So what does that mean? It's
Bit of
like
jib.
a bit of curry, a bit of trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It's been giving me a bit of trouble.
Yes.
All right, so if you related that, I'm just fishing, just doing some questioning. If you related to that to a man that was giving you some trouble, who would that be?
I can't think of anybody other than my husband. Poor guy.
But anyhow, what we want to do is, I'm just fishing and just see what comes up for you, right? I'm just asking you questions. I'm not trying to put anything into your mind. But when you think about the shoulder and the lack of movement, so there's that restriction. Is that how you describe it? It's restricting me.
Yes.
And it was giving you some trouble, and it was limiting with your movement,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So much so that you were doing things with the other hand, okay, which is your feminine side.
Oh, yes.
So it's like it protected you in a way from doing maybe some of the masculine roles that you might have had. The masculine side's being limited so that the feminine could come in more. Would you say that EFT is more feminine than what you would normally be doing?
Yes, I think so.
Using your intuition?
Yes. Yes.
That's just the stuff that's coming up for me from what I know of masculine and feminine, okay? Because your masculine has been limited
Yes.
and you've been using this instead.
Yes.
So coming over here.
Actually, when I think about it, it might have even been around the time when I first started tapping. It might have been. Might have been around that time.
All right.
Because
So
that
let's just
is
see.
about 7 years ago.
Okay. So just see what comes up and let your subconscious take you and bring up whatever is required for the healing of this. So tune into what does it feel like when you have that limited movement? What's that pain feel like? Like when you couldn't go like this and it was stopping you.
The other night, I'd been driving all day up to Auckland. And so because it was sore, I was stiff on the. I was just keeping my arm in one position on the
Mm-hmm.
steering wheel, and I think that 3-hour drive was
So 3 hour intention.
really, really bad for it.
Yes. What were you going to Auckland for?
To catch my flight. Oh, I had to drop my mum off back to her place and then find the place where I was parking my car and
Mm-hmm.
get to the airport and
So a lot
fly
of rushing,
here.
a lot of unknown.
Yeah, the day I was coming here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of unknown, a lot of rushing, and you had your mum in the car.
Yes. And when I went to go to sleep that night, it was so sore. It was
Right,
just,
let's go to
I
that.
could not sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And it freaked me out. I thought, oh my God, is this going to get worse? You know, this
Mm-hmm.
might, you know, the whole reason I come over here is going to go out the window with this bloody shoulder. It was not good.
Uh-huh. Even though I remember
Even though I remember
the night before I came here,
the night before I came here,
when I went to sleep,
I went to
I
sleep.
tried to get to sleep.
Well, actually, it was the night I came here.
The night you came here,
Yeah, it was.
I had a really sore shoulder,
I had a really sore shoulder,
and I thought,
my whole
reason for coming.
reason for coming here
Mm-hmm.
to do my EFT, my level 1 and 2, could be on the line because of this.
Shoulder.
That might affect my learning. It might affect my ability to even do.
Mm-hmm. I might
The
be
course at
in
all?
pain.
Yeah, and it was just, it felt like such a restriction.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a restriction.
Yeah, even though it felt like a restriction,
No, it felt like a restriction.
such a restriction.
Such a restriction.
The whole reason I came over here.
The whole reason I came over here.
What if it was going to restrict me in my learning?
What if it was going to restrict me in my learning?
I accept myself
I accept myself
and all these feelings trapped in my shoulder.
and all these feelings trapped in my shoulder.
I wonder what my shoulder was telling me.
I wonder what my shoulder was telling me.
All this fear,
All this fear.
all this restriction.
All this restriction.
What if it was going to restrict me?
What if it was going to restrict me?
My whole purpose for coming over here.
My whole purpose for coming over here.
I was all stressed about it.
I was all stressed about it.
I had to drop Mum off first.
Had to drop Mum off first.
I was driving really tense all the way
Driving
for 3
tense
hours.
For 3 hours.
Not sure where I was going.
Not sure where I was going.
A lot of the unknown.
A lot of the unknown.
Flying all the way to Australia
Flying all the way to Australia
to do this EFT course.
to do this EFT course.
What if it restricts me?
What if it restricts me?
All this pain in my right shoulder.
All this pain in my right shoulder.
It was really painful when I was trying to go to sleep.
It was really painful when I was trying to go to sleep.
Anything else coming up?
Yeah. This course is about me making my dreams come true. I didn't want it to mess with my dreams. I didn't want the universe to tell me I couldn't do this.
I didn't want this to restrict me.
I didn't want this to restrict me.
I didn't want it to stop my dreams from coming true.
I didn't want it to stop my dreams from coming true.
All this fear in my shoulder.
This fear in my shoulder.
What if it stops my dreams coming true?
What if it stops my dreams coming true?
All this fear and restriction.
All this fear and restriction.
I wonder if I felt it before.
I wonder if I felt it before.
This fear of my dreams not coming true.
This fear of my dreams not coming true.
Being restricted.
Being restricted.
Stopping my dreams coming true.
Stopping my dreams coming true.
Felt that before? Ever felt your dreams not coming true?
Oh, yes.
This pain in my shoulder.
This pain in my shoulder.
All the restrictions.
All the restrictions.
My dreams not coming true.
My dreams not coming true.
What's that frown for?
That can't happen.
That can't happen. That can't happen.
No.
All this fear in my shoulder.
This fear in my shoulder.
All the restrictions.
All the restrictions.
That can't happen.
That can't happen.
That can't happen.
That can't happen.
What if it happens?
I won't have it.
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 Very firm about that.
Very firm about that.
I won't have it.
I won't have it.
Trapped in my shoulder.
Trapped in my shoulder.
Stopping me from being flexible.
Stopping me from being flexible.
I won't have it.
I won't have it.
Trapped in my shoulder.
Trapped in my shoulder.
Take a deep breath. Molly, could you just look up what shoulder says? Right shoulder?
On the left shoulder, it says frozen shoulder.
Frozen shoulder.
That's
It's
the
another
effect.
word for it. It's another word for it, I think.
Suppressing your feelings, experiencing too much strain, stress and worry, not dealing with your challenges, numbing them, feeling stuck, trying to control rather than allow, fear of the future, wanting to give up, feeling like a failure, engulfed by problems, not knowing how to heal your pain and sadness, represents frozen tears.
Do you relate to any of that?
There's a lot there.
There was a lot there. Yeah, there was a lot there.
All those meanings
All those
that
meanings
a shoulder can be.
that a shoulder can be.
I wonder what my shoulder's telling me.
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 That feeling of it being frozen,
That feeling of it being frozen.
stopping me from my dreams coming true.
Stopping me from my dreams coming true.
I won't have it.
I won't have it.
I won't have it.
I won't have it.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and whatever my shoulder's telling me.
and whatever my shoulder's telling me.
It's behaving this way for a reason,
It's behaving this way for a reason,
and maybe I haven't been listening to it.
and maybe I haven't been listening to it.
I wonder what it's telling me.
I wonder what it's telling me.
I have had a lot of stress and strain.
I have had a lot of stress and strain.
I was really stressed for 3 hours driving.
I was really stressed for 3 hours driving.
All that tension,
All that tension,
all that stress and strain.
all that stress and strain.
Maybe my right shoulder took the burden of it all.
Maybe my right shoulder took the burden of it all.
And I want to thank my right shoulder
I want to thank my right shoulder
for taking all that stress and burden.
for taking all that stress and burden for me.
But maybe I can release it now.
Maybe I can release it now.
Letting my shoulder know
I'm letting my shoulder know.
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Maybe I can release the stress
Maybe I can release the stress
and the strains
and the strains
so that you don't have to hold it anymore.
so that you don't have to hold it anymore.
It'd be nice to be flexible
It's nice to be flexible
and at ease
and at ease
and release any fears
and release any fears
that my dreams won't come true.
that my dreams won't come true.
Maybe I can be flexible and at ease
Maybe I can be flexible and at ease
and send that feeling to my shoulder
and send that feeling to my shoulder
and send that feeling to when I was driving for 3 hours
and send that feeling to when I was driving for 3 hours
and relax my arms
and relax my arms
and my shoulder.
and my shoulder,
Relaxing
relaxing
about my dreams coming true.
about my dreams coming true,
Relaxing
relaxing
and releasing the fear
and releasing the fear
that my dreams won't come true.
that my dreams won't come true.
Maybe I can just relax into it
And just relax into it
and release the stress and strains
and release the stress and strains
and the tension and the anxiety
and the tension and the anxiety
that my shoulder was holding on to kindly for me.
my shoulder was holding on too cold.
Letting my shoulder know it can let it go now.
Letting my shoulder know I can let it go now.
Releasing the burden
Releasing the burden
and responsibility
and the responsibility
so that my dreams can come true.
so that my dreams can come true.
Maybe even easier than nothing.
Maybe even easier than I think.
So how's your shoulder feel? Show us how you can move it.
You do it?
Yeah,
Ooh! My dreams can come true. I can be a ballerina.
I noticed that first, like your arm was up here when you were doing it first, and as
you went through, you relaxed it and it was
Wow.
down
Wow.
at the end.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Whew.
Cool, huh?
Yeah. Very cool.
Have you a bit more pride?